The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Luby, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, a special Festivus edition, although things didn't quite work out the way we wanted, and that's the start of many grievances for today. But we're at home, and we're comfortable, and we're getting ready for the upcoming holiday week. It's going to be crazy. We got Christmas Eve tomorrow, Christmas and Hanukkah on Wednesday. Then we've got Kwanzaa beginning, I think, on Thursday, Boxing Day, and any holiday you wish to celebrate. It's okay with us in our book. Jeff D. for the Forest, how are you, and how was your weekend?
Couldn't be any better. I had a great weekend, tremendous all the way around, including a visit to one of our favorite places, Casa Calabria. They knocked it out of the park.
Excellent.
And I have to say this, Mike Mayo. So they had a special of veal parmesan was one of the specials, okay? And it was up there for their normal entree prices. So you're thinking, well, this must really be something. So they bring it out. I swear to God, the portion was the size of the table I'm working off. Biggest piece of veal parmesan I've ever seen. And the lady that had it, it just became like a thing. Everybody was like looking like, you know, when something is going on, it's like, oh my God, that's out of the ordinary. Nobody could believe the size of this veal parmesan they served.
Was this on the bone, or was it a boneless veal parm?
I want to say no bone, but
no bone. Okay, no, and sometimes they pound it out, and it comes out bigger than a manhole cover.
God,
yeah,
it literally was. That's a great. I mean, you being the wordsmith you are, came up with the manhole cover size, and it really was that. It was like you were going to be chucking a manhole cover, and I mean, it was enough for two people, and you would have been taking like half of it home. It was incredible. But no, the food there was great. Great evening. So in answer to your question, yes, wonderful weekend.
And we had a great time there with Frankie, of course, Frank Talrico, the great proprietor of the Ocean Manor.
Unbelievable. Great host. I mean, he's walking around the restaurant, had a couple of big parties in there, your favorite. And we never did. Did we get the report? Was that Thursday you went out with the big party, and then Friday?
That was Friday night, so we never got.
No. We did. It was an abbreviated report. I went out. It ended up being only 8 people, not 10, and everybody, you know, I was good.
Manageable number, easily manageable.
Manageable number. We were all kind of spread out, and I let the people from Virginia order whatever they want. You know, one of them
that had to kill you.
Well, one of them got a steak.
They really did. I mean, when they ordered like something that was way out of bounds.
Did you see how he phrased it? These are grown adults going to meal, by the way. Anyone who's just tuning in and heard those words and was like, what do you mean you let? I let them order what they wanted. Well, they're grown adults. I hope you let them.
I let everybody but Val, because she wanted a papaya salad, and I said, no, we got to get that shrimp ceviche, that Thai shrimp ceviche.
Your girlfriend?
She's been used to it now, but she totally agreed when you chimed in the other day about how annoying it is that I'm become the table captain, and I say, oh, everybody's happy when the meal is over, and you say, well, maybe that's what you think, but Val got a big chuckle out of it.
Luby and I are both in 100% agreement on this, and I don't see that there's any other argument. Okay, you're the food critic, the food expert. You're picking the place sometimes. You know, you usually have a pretty good idea what the hell is good and what's not. Although in most of the places we go, nothing is bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, but if you just ordered a couple of things to share with the people at the table,
well, that
would make more sense than dictating that you can't have what you want because I know better.
Okay.
Can't do that.
Now, Defo and Shirley, Luby and Shirley saw some of my table captain tendencies when we went to high tea on Saturday.
They hated you for it, if they were being honest, except you were picking up a free tab or whatever.
The house on the river.
If it's somewhere he's gone and we're open to the flavors, but if it's like the Thai thing where people have what they like, you know, that's everything. Like when we go out with Mayo, we do the omakase strategy where we put our hands in the hands of Mayo and Val, because honestly, if Shirley and I go eat, we get one dish, we get an app. Yeah. We're not creative and we're not fun.
You know, kind of
everything. Right. We love it. Shirley's like, oh, Val and Mayo are coming. Yes, because they order like half the meal.
They order everything.
and I don't care if we're paying or not. It has nothing to do with that. It's
you do care, Louie. I know you're.
when I'm with Shirley, I
You
expect
care
to
if we're
spend-
paying at Del Taco or not? What are you
when I'm
talking?
with Shirley, I expect to spend a lot of money. So I just automatically, it's like when you go on vacation, you just write it off. You just know. I know when I'm going out with my wife to a meal, we're going to spend lots of money, and it's fine. But we usually don't get a lot of food because we're not big eaters.
Yeah,
So going out with Mayo and Val is fun because they are like, yeah, let's get 2 of this. Let's get 3 of that. Oh, look at that.
We
Oh,
don't
maybe
get
that.
2 and
Hey,
3.
can you bring a couple of those meatballs? Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
No,
we
I
don't
like
get 2 and
to
3
try
of things. We
Yeah,
usually
let me
get
try
one of everything. I like to try a little of
Don't
everything.
go into your check mode. Louie, go ahead and spill the actual beans.
No. He's what Mayo said. Mayo
All
was
right.
worse until we get one of
That
those.
would
So
be
let's.
our Festivus thing. You got to let Louie spill the.
Oh
actual
yeah.
beans.
Go ahead. We have grievances. We're gonna get to all of them.
You're not going to read that whole list, though.
No, I won't.
I'm gonna walk
I
the
am
life I was
very
seeing. I'm so
happy
shifted from
to
this.
see that
if you went 20 deep on these, like you did on Let's Eat South Florida, then it was going to be.
But you know what was the huge upset? Because again, I posted my grievances for Festivus on the Let's Eat group earlier this morning. Kind of shocked to see. I guess it's almost 400 comments at this point. People are chiming in.
You didn't
Everybody-
leave much out.
No, but you know what I did leave out, Defo, and it hit me after.
You left
the
out
fact.
mine, which has nothing to do with food. But
What's that? Oh, well,
well,
that's forget.
I know. I'll
It
save
has-
it. I'll let you run your list.
No, it was obvious, and it hit me about an hour later, and I was like, because somebody posted in the comments places that don't accept cash, and then I was like, oh my god, how can I forget Houston's? I didn't even have a Houston's.
Oh,
on the
wow.
list.
Well, that's good. That's a sign of maturity. Like you're ready to move on. You don't want to hang on to these things, even though it's Festivus forever. I mean, you want to evolve in this sort of category.
Yes, I pride
Because
myself.
it can only bother you to your grave. It's just not worth it. I think about this it's not worth it. It's not worth worrying about. I mean,
We got so much on the plate today. We
Yeah.
got Festivus. You see that Luby is already munching into. I
I'm
gave
sorry,
us
I had
homework.
I had
Thanks to Sarni, we're going to be doing some home
this speaks
taste
to a very
testing.
deep psychological problem with the show. Now.
Yes.
You're literally subliminal obsession with fast food, where you get it and then you trash it as your sophisticated food critic mo. But the secret thing, I mean, the reason that you're so obsessed with it, subconsciously obsessed with it, is because you secretly crave this stuff. I
I'm
believe.
a masochist, and I want to poison myself. Is
And
that
believe me,
basically-
all my life I loved fast food. I really did. I mean, it's only in the last
I don't
20
love
years
it.
I
I
probably
hate it.
just said never.
I
I
love
mean,
fast
never again.
I because professional duty requires me to sometimes eat things that I'd rather not be eating. This is why I listened to my Svengali Sarni. He
Well,
actually
that's the two
pitched.
problems right there.
He pitched
But
an
he pitched-
idea,
He picked
which
real
actually.
food today, though. He didn't pitch weirdo stuff like
No,
all
but
this-
he pitched, he throws out sometimes some things that fast food places are debuting. But then he actually had an idea of I should do the feast of the 7 fast food fish sandwiches. And I was like, no, but maybe I'll just
Oh.
try one.
What would bring that up? I mean,
Because I'm going to be going
That
to
would be
Delaware seafood later. And
Papillon was eating better when he was in solitary confinement.
So I'll start. I know it's the day of grievances when you guys went to your Festivus. I don't really have any grievances. This actually was a pretty good year. I mean, on the grand stage, it was a horrendous year. What happened in early November, but for me personally, it's been a solid year. So I don't have that many grievances.
Yeah.
So I'll start on the positive. I went, Burger King's doing these melts and the advertisements are everywhere. And we talked about it months ago, I think, because I think the Burger Beast talked
Yeah,
about
he likes them, right?
he likes this sandwich. So I was like, okay,
Which one did you get?
I got just this classic one. It's already a lot of calories, so I'm like to add bacon on top of that. No, it was gonna be like 900 calories. I couldn't do
Calorie counting at a fast food joint?
Yeah.
That's not
like,
calorie counting. That's
I
like making sure that there's no scale around me.
that. Exactly. If they throw it in your
Not doing.
face, I was like, shoot, let me just do the one without the bacon. That's
Plus,
already
it's a sodium bloodbath on top of that.
100%. That's like 800 calories, but at least it's not 900 calories. So I'm like, let me try that. Open mine, and wasn't that it was cheaper than the McRib. And I will say, as a fact, because I grew up a fan of the
This was at McDee's or Burger King.
Burger King. They do melts. So what it is
They don't do a bad job on everything.
it's solid. It's
Yeah.
their double cheeseburger, but they put it between sourdough bread, toasted, and they put grilled onions. And we're all big fans of grilled onions. They're nice grilled onions. They're like the square kind. They're almost reminiscent of like,
Plain broiled, my friend.
yes, they're almost the onions are almost reminiscent of what you would get at like not White Castle, but Royal Castle back in the day. And I will say this is a solid burger. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is as good of a fast food burger as you're gonna find. It
Wow.
sourdough's really nice. They put like a sort of a
There you
Thousand
go.
Island.
There, Mayo, what is he holding up?
Yeah, is that healthy?
Either that or he's got some
I'm
obscene
eating garbage
vegetable.
and you're eating a
This
carrot.
looks like something that Stormy Daniels
mozzarella.
described.
Well, wait a minute. Now, Luby just gave a very eloquent, favorable review of a fast food burger.
It's nice.
And you, who I know only wants to demean this stuff, that's the only reason you're bringing it up, so that you can then justify eating it later on.
Oh my God, this is awful. Oh,
See, Luby,
right.
I mean,
Oh, see, this is good.
the rest of the crowd's on to you, man.
oh, so
You know,
me
really
and
well.
Luby.
Sourdough bread goes really well because I'm like, why would I spend? Because I like the double cheeseburger, but it's like
This
$2.50 for the
spicy.
double cheeseburger. I will say the sourdough bread with the grilled onions, and then they put the the Thousand Islandy whatever sauce.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on up, though. It looks good.
It's a nice.
Yeah, hold it closer to the
Hold on up a
camera.
little
It's a
cross
nice-
section here.
It's actually a nice.
Take it out of your
flavor.
lap. Oh my God, look at that.
It's a nice flavor.
Where
Like-
was that? Was that in your lap?
No, it's on the table. The camera's at my face. It's good. I'm not gonna lie. If you want a fast food burger,
Okay.
you need a lot of
No,
time.
Burger Beast
This
knows
was
his
good.
burgers,
This
and
was
you
good.
know
Burger
he's.
Beast
Oh,
nailed it. For someone who didn't
All right.
despise a chicken Big Mac, which I don't understand how you couldn't. So he had me questioning himself. He gained a lot of points because this is as good a fast food burger
All
as
right,
you can find.
all right, let me go through my thing. I ended up getting 3 things from the local Burger King
We're gonna eat
drive-thru.
them all on the show.
I'm going to taste test all 3 of them. The first one is a tremendous disappointment. Look, this thing
What is that?
in here, the thing I held up, because as I went through the drive-thru, I see a picture of these big, fat, juicy, what they
Mozzarella
call
stick.
chicken fries.
Oh, the chicken fries, not.
I ordered the spicy chicken fries because I've never had the chicken fries or the spicy
That was
ones.
a mistake.
And
man.
instead of a big fat one, this looks like, I mean,
Really, a
this
chicken
is-
fry.
this is just a horrendous.
It's like something that is on the floor at Costco, and you think,
Yes,
"Did I pick it
yes.
up?"
I want to
Just clean
sue
it
for like
regularly.
this was
No.
not truthful advertising. You see these big, plump, juicy, square, long sticks, and these are even they're just
No, that
terrible.
doesn't look good from any aspect of
You
it.
guys have never had. You guys made
I
that
take a bite. I mean,
Like, you might be out of the boundaries of good taste on Facebook by eating
all I
it.
taste is breading and
That's all it is.
spice. They
It's just
did make it spicy,
Just breading.
but I don't taste. Again, this is not chicken. It's chicken particulate. It's the stuff that you see in like.
But you're starting with the worst of the worst, Mike Mayo. I don't think that's
Well,
fair.
you chose to get that. You could
Because you
have.
only do this. Luby, you know this. He only does this so he can slaughter the people that enjoy this, and then he wants. But he's had the satisfaction of actually eating it under the auspices that it was
The
an
other
experience.
stuff he ordered is stuff that I've had before, and it's
All right,
edible.
now hold on a second. Now it's called like. All right, I've got 2 things wrapped up here. One, I ordered one of the new melts. It's the mushroom and Swiss melt. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Now I'm
This is
already a little.
Burger King or
This is Burger King. This
Okay.
is all Burger King. They're new melts, and I'm a little scared because on this it has a sticker of drive-through, and it says "Station Sticky."
I don't know what that means.
all right.
Like,
well, let's
I don't
see
know
what
why they
try
label
it.
something
Tell me
a
this.
sticky
I'm
I'm
steak.
going to say that inside the wrapper, even through this, very,
Pretty solid.
grainy video,
and
it
what
looks good.
And what I
do you
also
think?
see is a wrapper that I know
Looks
it's
good.
backwards.
It
It
keeps
says
getting
crispy-
smaller, though.
It
keeps getting
says
smaller.
crispy.
It's getting smaller, exactly.
This is supposedly a burger.
Set it
on,
up big, Mayo.
on the outside, it says crispy chicken melt. I don't think it's a chicken melt, right? This is supposed to be
It
a
says
beef
crispy
melt.
chicken
Mine
melt.
was a burger. I don't know what the hell that wrap says.
Yeah.
but-
All right.
Well,
So they're disguising what it is, which is
Let's
never
see.
encouraging.
I'm opening it up. Oh, okay. This is sourdough bread.
Uh-oh.
It is Swiss cheese that's a little congealed, but again, I've been I see a little mushrooms here, and I see
Give us a cross-section view. I mean, before you
here we go. We got
swallow that whole.
2 burgers with some Swiss cheese and some mushrooms. I don't really
Okay.
see much in the way of sauce. I'm gonna go take a bite here.
Looks like it's got a little crunch there. That should satisfy the Mayo parameters.
I got the signature Burger King flame broiled essence.
Yeah. Mr.
I
Fast.
like this.
There you go.
It's a solid burger.
There you go.
I got to give the Beast credit.
I mean,
That's
you're
solid.
never gonna get medium rare on
No.
a fast food burger, but this is a pretty flavorful double burger.
Yep.
This mushroom Swiss melt is perfectly acceptable.
It's your subconscious desire to eat fast food, Mayo, and not only eat it, but shovel it down. I am going to give you that coupon for the BOGO Big Macs. I only did it at 2 McDonald's locations, but I think you actually will go out of your way and make the drive based on your obsession with this stuff.
Does anybody want 3.5 hot chicken fries? Because these are terrible. These are going right in the trash.
For kids, my nephews love them. They're not
Is that
for like.
the only thing you bought? No, that's not.
No, and then so I got the chicken fries, which were a no-go.
What about the tuna melt?
The melt, which is the burger Swiss mushroom melt, is a thumbs up. And now we've got what Sarni says some are calling the best fish sandwich in fast food land.
That's Wendy's. That's the Wendy's one, right?
Well, no, he was talking about the BK. This is a BK. They call it a BK big fish sandwich, and you can see here they got some of the tartar sauce.
Doesn't look
pickles.
particularly appealing.
Pickles are stacked one on top of another. There's bad distribution of the pickles. Little sad bits of lettuce, one of which looks a little bit schwach, as they say, and that might cause me later.
Schwach, is that in the?
I don't know.
Schwach is in the Yiddish dictionary. It means tired and sad, and kind of like me. I'm feeling schwach today.
Yeah, what happened to you, Mayo? You all right? This is a Monday.
No, I'm
You're
good.
infused with enthusiasm.
Well, yes. I thought I'm pretty enthusiastic. I'm trying. But yesterday, I thought I was going to have a poker night because Val went to see Andrea Bocelli with her sister down in
I thought you were
Miami.
going to say Andre the Giant. She went.
It's on the grave.
Andrea Bocelli was playing. Was it Andre or Andrea? Andrea Bocelli was playing at the Heat Arena, the Kaseya Center.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And that was way too cultural for me. So Val and her sister went to that. I thought I was going to be playing a poker tournament at Dania Highlight. They canceled the tournament because there was not enough turnout that they couldn't hit their guarantee.
It was too cold down.
So like after an hour of play, when there was like 9 people in it, they said, sorry, we got to cancel it. And they refunded everybody's money. I was like, are you kidding me? And
so you
no.
broke even. That's the win. What do you
You
thought? Although to schlep to Dania Highlight, I know you. I mean, I don't know if it's around the corner anymore from your house.
No, it's a little bit.
Are you going to
further.
eat this thing? What's your story?
All right, so here we go. Bright number 3 from Burger King. Again, hot chicken fries were terrible. The BK melt with the mushroom Swiss was good.
Surprising.
Actually, more than acceptable. I would actually eat that whole thing. And now we got the big fish sandwich, which doesn't look too big, but it looks like a fillet of fish, basically, to tell you the truth.
Stick it in your face.
It's a breaded fish fillet.
Is there a decent amount of fish? Because that's the problem with the McDonald's one is that it's like there's nothing.
I mean,
and it's pretty bland fish. It isn't like Clooney was going after.
No, they got
Exactly.
the coating. It looks like they went to Chick-fil-A for the coating recipe.
You're going to pan
very, very salty, and it tastes like it might have MSG on it to give it some flavor enhancement.
All right,
I'm going to declare this one
neutral,
barely acceptable.
All right,
one more
and
bite.
finish it off while you're at it.
Well,
We should get some commercial messages in, should we not, Michael?
yes, thank you. It is time to take our first break, and after that, we'll come back with a contest winner and some more grievances for Festivus. While I have my mouth full of fish, why don't I talk about Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market, which is going to be the place to be the next 2 days to pick up all your orders for Christmas Eve, Feast of the Seven Fishes, Christmas Day, stone crabs, and don't forget New Year's Eve coming up next week. Also, stone crab, a big seller. So, again, go to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Today, it's going to be a little crazy, and if you didn't put an order in advance, don't be surprised if they say that they are out of certain items because, again, the early bird gets the stone crab. But later in the week, next week, you should be fine. Put your orders in now, 954-983-6831. We love Delaware. DelawareChicken.com, 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. It's the home of freshness, value, and quality and efficiency. You're in and out of there, no trouble at all. I'll be in there later today picking up some stuff for the holidays. I'm looking forward to it.
Bring your wallet.
Oh, yeah. And
Brian says you're storing food in your cheeks.
I am. Well, in order to get through the live spots, I got to do a little storage. All right, DelawareChicken.com. We love those guys out there. The Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take break number 1 on today's Festivus edition of the Lunchbox.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30, except Sunday. Go to for the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway, just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima for reservation. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. I ditched the Burger King, and now I've got yesterday's leftovers from my dim sum / Chinese brunch at Kieran, which is what used to be Silver Pond in Lauderdale Lakes. You see, I've got my beef chow fun here, and so now forget the fast food. I'm going with the Chinese food for Christmas week, which many of members of the tribe, such as ourselves, seem to enjoy the Chinese food on the holidays. And this Kieran place is pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised because it had push cart dim sum, which a lot of people go crazy for, including me. There's not much of that, where on the weekends, I think this place, Kieran, is offering the push carts where they go through with all the different things already there, and they just slap it on the table and they mark up your check. And at the end of the day, you tally it up and you say, wow, that was pretty cheap for the amount of food we got. And our friend, the Eep family, Philip Eep, I guess, from Bayoshi Food Hall in Pembroke Pines, his family ran Gold Marquess, which used to be in the Bayoshi spot. And basically, they've brought back their whole Gold Marquess concept, which includes the pushcart dim sum, up to this Kieran place. Again, it's on State Road 7, just south of Commercial Boulevard. And anybody who's into Chinese food or into real authentic New York Chinese food or whatever you want to call it, this place is it. And it's they did a nice job cleaning it up. So it gets the Mike Mayo's Lunchbox thumbs up, seal of approval.
Have you done wonton soup there?
They do basic soups, but they also do the more intricate noodle soups, like a duck noodle soup with wontons if you want. Basically, you can ask for anything you want. You can get the basic Americanized Chinese standards like the General Tso's chicken and the wonton soup of fried rice. But for the more adventurous, and this is what I recommend, they got things like the chicken and corn soup, They have like cold jellyfish dishes. They've got lobsters from the tank, a ginger scallion lobster, which is the dreaded MP market price. And again, yesterday I went with Val and her son and some of the grandkids, and it was good. All these little dumplings and from the dim sum cart, and then some Chinese greens from the dim sum cart, and then I ordered the chow fun, beef chow fun from the menu. Recommended, definitely recommended. And it's for those who complain, oh, you can't find good Chinese food in South Florida. You know what? Take that and stick it in your Festivus bag of grievances, because it's not true. I had dim sum push cart in Boston a couple of weeks ago, and this was every bit as good.
Nice.
A couple of dishes were better. A couple of dishes were maybe a little bit greasier than the ones in Boston, but that's like it could go for anywhere. And did you see that comment disparaging WoHop on one of the posts lately? I forgot, what the post was, but somebody was talking about Chinese food, and somebody was saying, I'm going to say it, WoHop is not all that. And this isn't me. This is the other person saying it's dirty, it's dingy, not all the food is good, it's greasy. And I concur. Everybody loves WoHop because they go in there at 4 a.m. when they're when they're 3 sheets to the wind. And so I concur with that. I always preferred some other places in New York Chinatown, including New York Noodle Town was my late night spot. But everybody is free to enjoy what they want. You were a big WoHop fan back in the day, and I guess it used to be better, like everything, Defoe, right?
Always thought it was a standard by which all those should be judged. I mean, it may suck. I don't know. I mean, but I loved it when I went in there. Thought it was one of the best Chinese places I've ever experienced in my life. I do have a fried rice update report if you want
Okay.
one. Mayo.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. 2 recent purchases of fried rice, chicken fried rice, my standard. It doesn't take much to make it. Those that make it well deserve credit. Those that don't probably shouldn't be in the business. But I have to go on board with you on the May's Kitchen. Unfortunately,
no.
probably I would have to say, Mike Mayo, I don't like to condemn a small place. I mean, look, a lot of people like it, which is great. I've been a customer there for many, many years, but this last batch of fried rice I got was an atrocity.
It was pathetic.
And then, Dragon Tea House, the criticism of the lack of, and I don't know if this is true everywhere, the lack of eggs. I mean, do you like a few peas in there when you get some fried rice?
I'm not a pea and fried rice fan. I don't want peas or carrots in my fried rice.
Okay, you don't want that. So you'd be happy with this.
I like onions. I like a couple of bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts. No bean sprouts in this. No eggs. No other vegetables. So that guy that was, taking a shot at me on Let's Eat South Florida, you were right. They don't put those things in there.
Wow, this is a Festivus miracle.
It was vastly superior. And far more. I would go back there again for the same thing, but I would have to say, from now on, as Mark Cuban would say on Shark Tank, for those reasons, May's Kitchen, I'm out.
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow! This is a historic day where even on
I would not go back and get that again ever.
They were standard.
It was
Festivus.
this
grievance. May's Kitchen topping Defoe's list. Here's my grievance with May's
That's not
Kitchen.
really a grievance. That's just a fried rice review.
Well, and it's like it's
under
not
the
like
on the authentic banner.
My grievance,
the standards of the show.
My grievance with May's Kitchen is not the quality of the food, which I was not expecting much at all. It was, why the heck is Bon Appetit magazine there in like laying on the front counter while people are waiting? And it's actually addressed to May's Kitchen. Like they have a subscription to Bon Appetit that is like still active.
You like to get new ideas all the time. However, they did not apply any of these new applications to their fried rice the other night.
Is that okay? So let me ask you, and I haven't had fried rice.
It's hard to screw that up. It really is.
So egg prices have gone up, and I get it. Egg prices. I was in the store. It was like $4.
They don't want to put an egg in there anymore. Is that true, Mayo?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm going to ask you guys. I haven't had fried rice in a while now. Because Shirley and I, we were on a hunt too to find fried rice, like we remember. And I think we found one that was okay, but even then, it was just disappointing. So we just stopped.
Eggs have gone up so much that it's not only rare to
in fried rice, like it's not like a staple.
Yes, there are versions where you're supposed to have some bits of scrambled egg in it. And eggs have gotten so expensive that not only are they a rarity in fried rice, they're also a rarity in egg foo young. That's saying something. So.
Oh Jesus!
It's crack an egg anymore, man. It's like $2
as Freed was explaining to us, like egg prices, like. At one point during the pandemic, they shot up to $120 a case. Then they were back down to $45 a case. Now, because of this latest outbreak of the avian flu that's wiped out a lot of the egg laying population, it's up to $150 a case again. And I think a case has like 20 cartons. It's a different measurement than the typical by the dozen, but we're seeing it again in stores and even non-public stores. Eggs are up over $5 a dozen again. And it's a hard
wonder
time.
the Mustang didn't have any in the fridge for breakfast this morning.
Yeah. Everybody's going to yogurt now. These are yogurt days, and it should be the salad days for me. Hey, we got a contest to
what happened there?
This is a good one.
Game on the head.
All right, so first of all,
I just
this one was for our biggest prize yet because it was for a New Year's Eve buffet package for 2 at 10 Palms at Gulfstream. Joe Beja, nice enough to give it away under peer pressure from Defoe.
What can you say? Couldn't say no there, Mayo. You have to know how to play this game.
Put him on the spot.
That's great.
Make him an
He's
offer he
my
can't
fine
refuse.
sponsor, who I wouldn't be alive without. So can I impose on you for any more personal
Joe's
favor?
great about
He's
that.
so great.
Yes,
And then
When he gets it, we'll promote it now more. I mean, if we're giving
it's such a great option for New Year's Eve. $99 a person.
that's a good
Plus,
deal.
all in. It has some fees because they're doing it through Ticketmaster. So I think with the tax and the tip and everything, it's like $125 per person. But still, considering it's an enhanced
That's
buffet,
huge. That's a huge plus.
an enhanced buffet with some quality, like prime rib and some really good seafood items, along with a live band and a DJ for when the band is taking the break. So you're going to have nonstop music all night, dancing all night, party favors, and then the sparkling, beverages flowing at midnight. I think
fireworks there too.
Complimentary glass. I don't think they're doing fireworks. It spooks the horses.
Show,
No, they've realized that it spooks too many horses.
Probably
in the
not the
barns.
best thing to have a lot of
So
you're right about that. I just look at my dogs when I think.
well, you remember they used to not start the live racing there until like later on in January. And there were still stables over at Calder, but now, no more fireworks there. But again, going to be a great place for New Year's Eve. That's going to be a week from Tuesday night. And so let's get to it. We gave away a package. I was a little bit surprised because, I did not open it up to contest winners from the last 3 months because I still want to give other people a chance to win. And because it's a date specific thing, December 31st, a lot of times, some people already have plans. So it was a little bit lower numbers, but I was very happy because we have a first time winner, somebody who's been
nice.
a pretty faithful contest entrant over the last year. And we've been doing it for 2 years.
Bonnie finally won.
No, she's already won. But let's go through it here. Okay, first of all, the restaurant I was going for with the revolving rooftop was Pier 66, and it's going to be opening up again in the next couple of months.
Well,
$1 billion.
I used to love that place.
Yeah, $1 billion renovation.
Applications, man. Did you eat there a lot? I had some friends there that was over. They were.
Well, I used to eat sometimes on the one on the Intracoastal. That was I forget that they just called Pier 66. No, not yesterday. It also was associated with Pier 66, but the one on top
the rooftop
was
one. Great.
The rooftop one was more of a bar lounge. But I remember one time I was there for a party that I think it was involving a horse racing thing, maybe a Breeders' Cup. But it was there when I was standing next to Ken Dunn, the former president of Calder Racetrack. He was the first.
Always a very distinguished dresser, was he?
Yeah,
not?
Good dude. And
he looked like he came right off the cover of some fashion magazine. He was a very nice man. I got to know him pretty well.
Well, this was back, it must have been the early aughts, like 2004 or 5, and he was sipping on a vodka, and he was touting, he goes, Mike, you got to try this Tito's vodka. It's from Austin, Texas. I was like, Austin, Texas vodka? And I tried it, and I loved it. Now, back then, it was a little kind of niche,
you didn't make a face the first time?
No, I took a sip and I said, I like this better than some of the pricier stuff I've been drinking. Back then, it was like the cheapest stuff around because it was trying to make a name for itself. Yeah. And I started picking up jugs of the stuff. Then it kept growing and growing, and lo and behold, Tito's has become the most popular brand of vodka in the United States.
Amazing.
It also has changed some of its methods and distilleries. It used to be just distilled at one small distillery in Austin. Now they have all these other places, and they've changed their processing. They've added some additives. I don't like it anymore, but back then it was great. Yeah. Anyway, Pier 66. That's my Pier 66.
Nice.
Claim to fame. So anyway, nobody picked the winning horse, which was Be Your Best. I guess not a lot of Melania fans out there. Number 7, Safi Joseph. Very simple. Safi, just bet Safi in anything. He was 6-1, and nobody had him. I'm sorry, 5-1 winner.
I read riding for Safi.
and nobody had the number 7 horse. It seems like everybody in the contest picked either the number 1 or the number 11,
On your
and the 11 was the favorite up the track. Number 1 finished third, but number 4, Papillon, which reminds me of Papillon, which is a reference you always make.
great movie. Maybe one of the best movies ever made.
Number 4, Papillon, 6-1, finished second, and one of our entrants had Papillon. So
Okay, all right.
that was it. We didn't even need to go to the Dolphins 49ers tiebreaker, and it's a good thing because the winner had San Francisco winning by 14 points. So if it went to that extra tiebreaker,
A little off there.
she would have lost. But since, again, the order of things is once you're the only one with the
that's all right.
horse, then that's it. You're the winner. So congratulations to Margie Yard with an E.
Okay.
Again, and Margie, first time winner, and you and a guest are going to be going to New Year's Eve buffet at 10 Palms. It's going to be a
Sweet.
great time.
That's
And,
right around the corner. They have to capitalize on this immediately.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the thing. It's date specific.
This is like
So-
the things we used to do in the radio where you had to bring your luggage. And if you won like the oil wrestling contest, then you and whoever would be whisked off straight from there to the airport with no clothes on, and they would take you right to the Bahamas or something. It was great.
Nice. Well, Margie Yard
Similar
with
kind
an
of
E.
contest, Mayo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
And I'm glad that she is finally a winner, and she wins the biggest prize that we've offered so
Yeah,
far
that's a
on
nice
the
prize.
10 Palms.
Is that right? Is that in terms of overall value?
Yes, in terms of overall value.
Yeah, 250.
99
Pretty soon it'll
would
be a
be
trip to
more
Las
than-
Vegas.
One day.
That's good. All right, let's take our second break. But before we do, Defo, I got a couple of great events coming up that I got to kind of tout. Number one, the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival is coming up right after the holidays. I can't believe it's going to be
3
here
weeks.
within 3 weeks. This January 13th through the 19th.
It
All
is
kinds of
too.
Yeah.
It really is great.
Yeah, and all kinds of great stuff. VLFoodWine.com is the website where you want to go on now and choose your event. And basically, they've got some of the intimate dinners, some seminars, educational classes. A lot of them are selling out and filling up. So go online right now, VLFoodWine.com, and there is still availability for the big 5 signature events. And it's going to be great because if you use the promo code Lunchbox, that's Lunchbox, you get an extra 15% savings off the already low ticket prices. And that's for the Wednesday cocktails, the Thursday Asian theme walk and roll, which Luby and I will be doing a live Lunchbox at Night podcast or vlogcast or whatever you call this from there. Friday is the barbecue battle where I'll be one of the judges, and it's going to be some really great competition coming in.
You're
from all
smart.
over the
You're
country.
enlisting the professor to
Yes.
join in and maybe be,
Yes.
Well, he's going to barbecue too.
And that reminds me, gentlemen, I need everybody's wish list of which events you want tickets to go to, and I will submit it to the appropriate powers that be. But again, the Big 5, the Grand Tasting Saturday, and the new brunch on Sunday, those 5 events, use the promo code Lunchbox for extra savings. Again, VLFoodWine.com. The second event I got to talk about is our friend Evan Darnell, Red Meat Lovers Club. They've got that boxing and meatball competition coming up. It's going to be January 29th at the Delray Beach Boxing Club.
that's annoying.
Go
really.
online to Eventbrite and just type in Rib Cage Fest or Red Meat Lovers Club, and you'll find the upcoming events. January 29th, it's a Wednesday, and I've enlisted some heavy-duty meatball
I thought you were going to fight.
makers. No, I'm not going to step into the ring. My name is not Mike Tyson. I'm the same age as Mike Tyson. But
Pull a Jake Paul here.
although if
Kinda
Evan
home
Darnell
thing, if
comes
people
up
would
with
try
a
to
couple of
box you.
million,
Yes.
I'll go in. I'll take a beating from. I'll even take a beating from Evan if he wants. But
He's a big dude.
yeah, he is. He does power weightlifting.
That's
Don't
strong.
wanna mess
Oh,
with
yeah.
him.
Oh, geez.
But
I'm going
you
to
know,
have my early KO.
you know who he was able to rope in with some assistance from yours truly to get into that meatball competition. Okay, first of all, Windy City's going to be there. You love their
they were
meatballs
great.
from the tennis thing.
Top notch.
Peter's Pizzeria, Peter
Oh,
Izzo, who
great.
could not be with us today because he was just behind on the holidays. And from Peter's Pizzeria in Boca and the new one in Pompano, he's going to be submitting his balls
Nice.
for approval. And then we've got Sicilian Oven. Our
Oh, you did
friends
get
Andrew and Ralph are going to be involved.
You need
And-
Pizzulli. You need Eddie Pizzulli in there.
Yeah, and
Sure.
Eddie
Oh.
Pizzoli, Prezzo is in the
Oh,
hizzle.
Prezzo is. Oh, good
Yeah,
for you.
Prezzo's in. All
Oh,
of
that's
our
a
friends,
meatball.
including one that we're going to be visiting next week for the first time. But I had a meal there last week with my daughter and one of the partner owners there. It's called 388 Italian in Boca Raton, and it has a fantastic meatball. And they are eager to take part and put their balls on the line too. For
Nice.
That's going to be
array of talent that's going to be on this.
great. There's a lot of top flight meatballs, quality. This is a grade 1 steaks race.
They do a great job, though.
Yeah.
The Red Meat Lovers Club. That was an outstanding event that I attended at the tennis center that time. And I couldn't have been any more impressed with the display and the way the food was served. It was fantastic.
They do first class stuff.
Yeah.
So again, go online to the redmeatloversclub.com. I think just Google Red Meat Lovers Club and you'll find it, or go online to eventbrite.com and do a search for Red Meat Lovers Club Rib Cage Battle. Again, January 29th. It's going to be fantastic. I'll be one of the judges there too. And it's going to be tough because
you'll have to eat at least one of all of the meatballs.
Yes.
That's not going to be easy.
That's no problem for me, as long as I don't have to big bite every meatball.
You were juggling them at the last one.
But coming up with the winner, and then it's like, I'm going to be alienating somebody, and we have a lot of our sponsors.
You know what? It's a blind test. They got to accept the results.
So, it's
anyway. You can claim that your vote didn't count, like you were a Democrat.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Again, vlfoodwine.com for the festival, and then the redmeatloversclub.com for your meatball ribcage battle. All right. Let's take our second break, and we'll come back with more grievances on Festivus on a home edition of the Lunchbox. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C. 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox, and I'm done with all my eating for the day. It seems like there's some confusion here. Now Lisa Koch is wondering whether it's her best friend, Margie, who won, who she said she told about the contest, but she says it's Margie Yared. But again, every time that this Margie has communicated with me, she gives her name as Yard with an E at the end.
What kind of idea is she going to have to show? Is it going to be harder than crossing the border to get
I
these?
presume it's the same person then. If
Yeah.
the same letters are in the last name, then
I don't know, but Margie Yard or Yared or however, again, has never won before.
Yeah,
She
it makes
goes
some sense.
She goes by the handle, I guess her email address, Podgella, Podgella. So if that's
Is there no way for you to contact her since she had to submit her information?
of course, no. I'm going to be again. I always withhold the notification until we announce it on the show, and then I
Oh, there
send an email out right away to the same email address that I
It's going to work.
got the submission, the entry from. So, and then it usually
You
works out.
see this kind of controversy immediately surface right after you announce the
What,
winner.
what I don't like is when like people win
We've had
and
a
then
number of contests that came under suspicion by
no, this
various levels of authority,
is all on the up
including
and
the
up.
feds.
I've got nothing to gain by gaming the system. But no, what worries me is that we've had a bunch of winners both from previous years and earlier this year who never claim their prizes. I send out
It
follow-up
happens.
emails.
Some people just like to play. Man.
Well, some people die, and that's the problem.
Oh,
I
she
always
died?
well, no, I always go to the worst thing. It's like
Oh
if
my
somebody doesn't
God.
actually,
What
if
kind of
somebody actually
chemotherapy?
wins a prize and
Who's gonna
doesn't
advertise on your
claim it.
show for contest winners you have to worry aren't even going to be around by the time they redeem
Well,
their prize.
I mean, I don't know. Some people move. Again, I heard from a woman who was a physician who then got transferred and she was working in the United Arab Emirates for a while. Like if you move, let me know. But those who just like disappear in thin air, I'm a worrier.
Believe
It's
me,
like,
every radio station we ever worked at prays that the people don't show up to redeem.
Go Beja, a little
Please
bit ahead this
pray
year.
that no one would ever call about it. I mean, and then when they did, like 3 years later, and say, "Hey, you know what? That DeForest and Louie,
Yeah.
they stiffed me on my prize." And you're like,
that's what they always
believe me, that's a horrible signal. I mean, an alarm like you can't believe at any corporation like that, where they just pay the person whatever they ask, to go away. It's like,
Well-
what do you want? 10 grand here. The guy won like a pizza, and they're giving
We're
him
not
10 grand to go away.
paying 10 grand to anybody. We're following all the rules.
It's not on us. Yeah, they're not-
And
Yeah, but if
again,
they don't show up,
if
Mike
you
Taylor-
win, and again, the rule is you should redeem your prize within 90 days of winning. And we're generous. We allow some exemptions and like the Koch family is going to be withholding their winnings until January sometime, and it falls outside the 90 days for one of them, and that's fine. We let that stuff
So you're
slide.
not like Pat Riley was with Anthony Carter. I don't know if you covered that.
Oh,
story. Where a guy's agent forgot to submit like that he wanted to re-up his contract there at like $30 million a year or whatever it was, and it was like a split second after the wire.
Yep.
And Riley said, "You're out of here." And that was it. So you're not that cruel. On
No,
the,
and again, we want all the winners to redeem their
try to
prizes.
play
We want-
tough guy though. You're like, no,
Even though it's Festivus, we don't want any grievances. We want everybody to be happy. So again, congrats again to Margie Yardie. That's the way she spelled it.
Yared.
Podgella. We're going to be notifying her. Okay, getting back to the House on the River because we just played that spot. What was the final takeaway and verdict from you and Shirley for
we enjoyed it.
Saturday's high tea? Okay.
I mean, how honest? Because we actually enjoy it. We thought The view, this is where my wife's critiques, I guess. If you're asking for on Festivus, we can give critiques. The view's fantastic. You're not going to really, not only you're not going to find that in South Florida, it's rare to find that anywhere, is what were her takeaways is. It's the kind of location you'd be lucky to find anywhere. So to have that in South Florida is amazing. Every bite was great. Like, and that's literally what it felt like we all said, but her and I agreed on that.
The food was good. The flavor of the finger sandwiches and all the pastries, it was good.
It was elegant. It was well done. Her takeaway is maybe like have another piece per person, I guess, because it was like a true blue tea where like you had just enough, where she's gone to a lot of teas where you actually were. I know I made the joke Friday, like she's like
unlimited finger sandwiches.
Well, it's not unlimited, but like you get enough where like it's not just two. It's like she showed me the pictures. It's like, oh wow. I'm like, I've never heard of a tea like that. So maybe she's been spoiled at the tea she's gone to. Where
you got to remember, this is modeled after classy London society. They don't stuff themselves like Americans going to the Ichiyama buffet in Boca, where they're just like trying to shovel in as much as they can for $29.95. This is a class affair, and I thought all the touches.
Price also is $20 less than the other teas. So that's probably the other thing is it's a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to use the word affordable because it doesn't feel like that. It's a very high level, elevated experience. But when we looked at what these other ones prices were, I'm like, yeah, well, that's why they may have more food. They charge more. I don't know.
I thought it was classy.
It was fantastic, and we definitely look forward to going again. Like
it should be. Again, considered it's like a mid-afternoon meal. It's a social occasion, a mid-afternoon snack more than a meal.
That's what
and I thought it was class. Did you see the outbreak of the persnickety people on Let's Eat South Florida about the whole tea service? And people were railing about, oh, that's not really a proper tea because they didn't have teapots. They were making them seep their tea bags in individual cups. Now, let me clarify a couple of things.
That's something Shirley didn't criticize, but she's like, and she made it a mention of it when we were there.
Oh, these women were going nuts on there saying, oh, that's not it. I'm not going to pass because it's like a freaking gorgeous view. It's a really well-appointed room. They have all this nice little fancy china. We were picking up our tea and picking up our pinkies. They also have really reasonable sparkling wine, this rosé from California that tasted every bit as good as the French champagne that we drank. We did a little taste test.
It was really nice.
And for $39 a bottle, this I think they call it Unchained bubbling sparkling rosé. That was great. And so to get back to the tea, they have tea bags. It's not loose tea that you put in a little contraption and then you put it in and then all the tea leaves float away and then you got to wait till they settle and all that stuff. It's tea bags from Julius Meinl, which is like one of the best coffee houses in the world in Vienna. I did not even realize they were in the tea game. And they came with a nice presentation of 12 different types of teas, whether you wanted your herbal teas, your caffeinated teas, your, orange pico or Earl Grey. They have all the teas that you want, okay? And if you want to put it in the big teapot where you share it, that means there has to be a convergence of opinion where everybody wants the same type of tea, and then you can get 4 tea bags and put it in the teapot, and then everybody pours their teas into their cups. If you want it like that, if you're going to be persnickety. But this way, everybody was able to get their own individual tea bag and put it in their cup. And they had the proper little dish that you take your used tea bag to put it in. So it's not on any plate or you don't have to put it on the tablecloth. They have the proper accoutrements. They have the proper service things. And I hate to get fired up, but I hate when people get maligned and they get into a freaking tizzy and they haven't even been there themselves. So I'm sure if they asked, oh, can you steep the full pot of tea just for me of the one thing, they would have done it. But in our case, we got 2 big teapots for the 4 of us, and then we got individual teas. Case closed. That's it.
She actually, because that's the thing is she didn't lose it or anything over. She was just like, it's interesting they did it that way. Usually, it comes already done. But like she also said, everyone gets their own pot, and I don't know where we would have room. Like I thought about that. I'm like, that's not efficient or practical. I don't need my own pot. Like just give me the water, and I don't mind dunking. I don't even know what that means. So I don't know. Like, for that to be the criticism, like, yeah, so that means you enjoyed it and it was great. She's like, yeah, it was as good as any tea I've ever been to. And I would tell anyone I know to go over there and experience.
It's nice. It was a nice change of pace. And again, people seem to be into experiences these days. This was an experience.
It was an experience, 100%.
So, all right, I'm fed up with all the people in Let's Eat. That's why it's Festivus today.
I was gonna ask you what the comments were to that because I felt like people were gonna.
Oh, you
find
didn't read through it? I tagged you in one of them too, I think.
I'll
But
go.
it just aggravates. Whatever. Okay, for the high tea purists out there, how
Yes.
about this? It was high tea, and I was high. So how about that for purity?
What's
Okay.
a high tea?
Oh man. Oh yeah, and then someone was saying, well, this wasn't really a high tea; it was more like a low tea because it wasn't a full meal, and high tea is more involved, and blah blah blah. I don't know all the terminology.
They
All I
said
know,
it to us. See, that's and actually, Shirley, they remember the woman described it as this is more of a low tea kind
yeah,
of.
I guess maybe I
called
use
it
the
that.
term high tea inaccurately. Maybe it's on me. I shouldn't have called it a high tea. Low
Yep,
tea is something that men in the 50s like me
exactly. We don't
experience,
like
but
that term.
I need to go to some of those clinics that advertise on your former station there, 940. That's the low tea. High tea is, have a couple of gummies and have some fun. It was beautiful. All right, we got to take one more break. Oh my God, I can't believe this hour flew by. I love the burger melt, that mushroom
Oh, that's
shroom.
good. Yeah, it was legit.
I could actually eat a whole one of those, which for fast food that's praise. That's high praise for me. All right. Batch New Southern Kitchen. They're in the middle. They started the Fort Lauderdale location, 525 North Federal Highway. Started their 12 straight days of brunch today. And guess who's going? My brother Burl, Steve Mayo, is
Nice.
he's got 3 straight days off. Gulfstream is not running the next 3 days, so they're kicking off the holiday week by going up there. And I got a text from Brandon up there at Batch today saying, "Is Stephen Mayo your brother?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, well, he's coming in today, and I'm going to make sure to take good care of him." I said, "No, charge him double and treat him lousy." But
They don't do
that's
that.
not in their DNA at Batch because they pride themselves on over-the-top service. They call it unreasonable hospitality. They love to take care of everybody as a VIP. It's not just me or my brother that gets the VIP treatment. You could just see all the posts on Let's Eat South Florida praising them. People come in for the first time. People have a special request. They go above and beyond. Kevin and Brandon there. They are so great. And the 12 days of brunch going on in a row now is a spectacular thing. Again, their brunch menu available during the week, during the holidays, and also the unlimited drinking. What do we call that? Bottomless mimosas and other drinks for $25 if you want to add that on. Again, Bash New Southern Kitchen has 3 locations. There's one in West Palm Beach on Clematis. There's one in Delray Beach, West Atlantic, in the Delray Marketplace. And, of course, there's the one in Fort Lauderdale, which I am fond of because it's right up the block. Go to Batch. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take our third and final break, and then we'll be done with this Festivus edition. And then we're going to be done for a few days, gentlemen. We won't be back till Thursday at Wicked Cheesesteaks for our Boxing Day edition, but we're going to have a couple of days off, and we're going to have some replays, some good nuggets, some best of material on the Lunchbox. Let's come back after these words. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox, wrapping up this Festivus edition. Going to see if is there any other things that was on your minds, grievances that you gentlemen wanted to air. I'll start with Luby.
The Dolphins are annoying. I mean, that's pretty much it's sports related. My life's okay.
They won. They're still technically alive, which just teases everybody.
My real grievance is, and Perk was great both on air and off air with us Friday, so I really enjoyed it. He just went all Dolphins, and he didn't think twice about it, and he answered a lot of my, not questions, but a lot of my curiosities. But that's where my grievances fall, is that I don't think they're going to make any changes, and I don't know how you keep Chris Greer at GM. And I really don't have any faith in Mike McDaniel at this point. So my grievance is really, it's not even sports related, because the Panthers are turning it around. The Heat, I think, are what they are at this point. The Marlins, I don't even consider as a franchise anymore. And I think my Seminoles may figure it out. The Dolphins are my grievance, because you always want to have hope. I'm in a weird place where I don't really have the hope, because to me, if those two guys got us here and they don't get, Ross literally gave McDaniel the goddamn game ball yesterday. Like, Ross isn't getting rid of that guy. So is he going to get rid of Greer too, the guy that he's been like cozied up to for years? I don't know. My frustration is more sports related. Life's good.
Sometimes before you whack a guy, you give him a nice present, right? So maybe that's
usually is. Div and I joke about all the time. When you get the vote of confidence, that's usually 2 weeks from that day is when they get fired. Like, the vote of confidence is usually the worst thing you could get. But an actual game, like the way he was celebrating yesterday, like he was acting like it was the freaking Super Bowl. So I'm actually frustrated in the sense that I don't think they're going to make any changes. They're going to have their worst year in 3 years, and I don't think they're going to do anything about it. So that's where my frustrations lie.
All right. So you have Festivus grievances with the Dolphins. Nothing new. That's the streak without a playoff win looks like it's poised to go to, what is it, 25 seasons or something like that. Again, what are their chances now of the playoffs? It's like less than 5%, and they got to have like 15. They got to win out, and then how many things have to happen? Like 20.
They have to win out, because that's the problem, is they also need the Broncos and the Colts to lose. I don't know. It's just
it's not happening. It would have been just better if they lost yesterday and just get rid of everybody's illusions and all that stuff. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's nice to have them win. Maybe they'll finish over 500 again. It'll be just like the final Don Shula years over and over again, where they either finished, 8-8 or 9-7, and they never gotten anywhere. And then Jimmy Johnson said the enemy of great is good. And then he came in and he was humbled with his little doggy, and they went off into the wilderness. And then Bill Parcells came, and then Nick Saban came, and it's been the same old story no matter who the freak is here, because you know why? I don't know why. They're just a jinx team, and maybe it was after moving from the Orange Bowl. Do you subscribe to that theory? You hear that a lot out there. People say, "Oh, ever since they moved from the Orange Bowl, it's not the same."
I don't buy it at all. No.
Okay.
Total trash.
That's
it. All right. I guess we're gonna get out of here. Defo, thank you for everything. You're appreciated. Have a very Merry Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Luby, have a good start to Hanukkah, and
you as well.
I'm going to do my Latkes next week, either Sunday or Monday nights, because Hanukkah begins again on Wednesday evening.
Wednesday night, yes.
First of 8. So we don't want to forget any of the holidays out there. We're
Christmas.
going to be back Thursday at Wicked Cheesesteaks. It's going to be fun with Brian. And we can continue with more grievances throughout the year because that's how we roll here on the Lunchbox. All right, everybody. Oh, Tropical Acres. How could I forget my friends at Tropical Acres? Tonight is a half-price wine night.
Wine, let's go.
Half-price wine. And then tomorrow they're going to be closed for Christmas Eve and open Christmas Day. They still have limited availability. If you want to get in there for Christmas Day or New Year's Eve, they're open for both. They have limited availability for both. Give them a call. Old school way. You have to call to make reservations, and you need reservations. 954-989-2500. I love Tropical Acres. Studio Alley family, 75 years celebrating great value, great food, great hospitality, and kick off the new year with them because they are wonderful people. All right, that's it for today. Thanks, Defo. Thanks, Luby. Thanks to Burger King for actually making a sandwich I can consume the whole thing. Again, the recap. Luby, you love.
I like the melt. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed my Swiss and mushroom melt. I hated my hot chicken fries. They sucked. If it was a runoff between the chicken Big Mac and the hot chicken fries from Burger King, I would send them both overboard. And I know I'm a masochist, but no, I don't like those. All right. Have fun, everybody. Enjoy every sandwich.